giving to you today. We have the playoffs starting in the WGLTV league. What we're going to do today is go down this list. We have 12 teams make the playoffs. We're going to do a power ranking for all 12. Doesn't matter what conference you're in. We're just going to put all 12 of them together and do a power ranking. And then at the end, we're also going to do some awards to see who won what this year. So, coming in number 12. The Redskins. Redskins finished the season 9-7. They won 3 of their last 5 games to finish the season. They are, 0-6 versus the top 12 this year. So not too many, important wins, but they're still winning games. Kirk Cousins, 4,001 yards, 38 touchdowns. He did finish first in the league with a QB rating of 108.9. So that was pretty good for him. Matt Jones, 1,043 yards, 5 touchdowns. Jordan Reed, 10 touchdowns on the season. So he was moving the ball, obviously. 4th-ranked offense, that's pretty good. Finished 9-7, just snuck in the playoffs, but they're here trying to make some noise. Coming in number 11, we have the Dolphins, Black Rob 002. The Dolphins finished the regular season 9-7. They won 7 of their last 9, so they look good heading into the playoffs. Not doing too well against the better teams. 0-4 versus teams that have made the playoffs. Ryan Tannehill, 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, slinging the ball. Favorite receiver has been Jarvis Landry. He's got 1,600 yards, 17 touchdowns, so he's putting in work, doing well there. 4th in the league in passing. Coming in number 10, we have the Saints, led by Yak, also known as Dot. Dot is 9-7 with the Saints. The Saints started the season 0-5 and still finished 9-7 to make the playoffs, winning 9 of their last 11 games. That's pretty impressive. Way to turn that around before it got too late. Another team that didn't do too well against playoff users. He's 1-3 versus the top 12. Drew Brees, 4,400 yards, 37 touchdowns. First in completion percentage, 69% for Drew Brees' completion percentage. First in the league. Brandon Cooks, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. Paul Kruger, 18 sacks on the season, pretty good. His defensive line, this is amazing. His defensive line, between 4 players, they combined for 40.5 sacks this season. That's impressive. Getting to the quarterback all game long. Offense is ranked 5th in the league. His passing is ranked 5th in the league, so top 5 there. Obviously, we just talked about the sacks. He is the league leader in sacks for his team with 48 sacks. Also 4th in the league in fumbles recovered with 18. Coming in number 9, we have the Panthers. Call me Timbo. Panthers finished 10-6 on the regular season. They won 3 of their last 4 heading into the playoffs. 2-3 versus playoff users, so getting there. Not too impressive, but got some wins. Cam Newton has struggled. His whole offense has struggled. Cam Newton, 27 interceptions this season. Jonathan Stewart, only 3 touchdowns. Kelvin Benjamin, only 6 touchdowns. Obviously, this team ranked 31st in offense. Can't move the ball, but they made the playoffs basically based on just defense. Luke Kuechly leads this defense. 8 interceptions. 2 of them are returned for touchdown. He is ranked 1st in total defense, 3rd against the pass, 2nd against the rush, 4th in points allowed, only giving up 15 points a game. So, if the offense can't score and the defense does, they can win. Defense wins championships. We'll see how far the Panthers can go in the playoffs with that motto. Coming in at number 8, we have the Titans. Myself finished 11-5, winning 6 of the last 8 games. Only 2-3 versus the top 12. Mariota struggled, 26 interceptions. Team was really led by DeMarco Murray on offense, 1,500 yards, 18 touchdowns. Jarrell Casey on defense had 11.5 sacks. The offense was ranked 3rd in the league, and behind DeMarco Murray, the rushing was ranked 2nd in the league. So we'll see if DeMarco can carry that team in the playoffs going forward. Number 7, we have the Bears, led by living legend 106, a.k.a. Buck. 10-6 on the regular season, won 7 of the last 9 games. He has a 500 record against the top 12, sitting at 2-2. Jay Cutler, 35 touchdowns. And here's the amazing part. Alshon Jeffrey finished the season with 2,229 yards and 25 touchdowns. Both leading the league in yards and touchdowns. Also, both NFL records for yards and touchdowns. That's pretty impressive. Go up and get it. Alshon's been making plays. He'll need that in the playoffs. Don't matter. Let's see what the weather looks like. Let's see if Alshon can get out there and lead that team to a Super Bowl. Number 6, we have the Jaguars, led by Mr. Carter. Carter and the Jags finished the regular season 12-4, winning 6 of his last 8 games. 3-2 versus the top 12. Blake Bortles finished the season first in yards and first in touchdowns. He had 4,900 yards, 41 touchdowns. That offense was moving the ball, even running it. Chris Ivory, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Blake Bortles, he had a really nice wide receiver duo this year. Allen Robinson, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. Kamar Aiken, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. So he had a nice duo getting all out over the field. Offense was ranked first. Passing was ranked first. Scoring ranked first. 31 points per game. That's pretty good. Dante Fowler on defense, 12.5 sacks. Jalen Ramsey, 9 interceptions. His defense is 5th in the league in interceptions. They've got 35 on the season, so he's scoring points, also causing turnovers. It's going to be a tough team to look out for in the playoffs. They could make a run. Number 5, we have the Ravens. Junior Dr. Sid. Sid finished 12-4. Right now, he is on a 2-game losing streak, limping into the playoffs. See if he can turn that around. He does have an impressive record against the top 12. He is 6-1. Flacco, 26 interceptions, had nothing to do with the team this year. It's all been TJ Yeldon. TJ Yeldon, 1,800 yards and 25 rushing touchdowns on the season. That's first in the league this year. Let's see. Brashad Perriman, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. Ranked 3rd in the offense in rushing. Obviously, TJ Yeldon was getting it done. His offense is ranked 5th in scoring at 27 points per game. On defense, he's ranked 4th versus the rush, so it's hard to run the ball on him. And in the secondary, he's got 2 guys, Jimmy Smith and Lonnie Ballantyne, 17 combined interceptions, so they're making plays. Sid had a pretty well season, fell apart late with them 2 games losing going into the playoffs, but he's had some pretty impressive wins, and he can make a run in the playoffs here. So, going into the top 4, number 4, we have the Cowboys. Twan the Truth finished the season 14-2. He won 5 of his last 6. He's got a pretty solid 4-1 record against playoff teams. Led on offense by Ezekiel Elliott, 1,800 yards, 16 touchdowns. He was our rushing leader this year. He just did edge out TJ Yeldon by about 17 yards. So that was a close race there, but Zeke did end up winning it. His offensive line, this is very impressive. I know we talked earlier in the year how they were not giving up any sacks. They finished the season with a total 4 sacks. That's all they gave up. Hard to get to that quarterback. DeMarcus Lawrence on defense has 12 sacks for himself. Sean Lee, 11 interceptions. Let's see. His defense is 2nd versus the pass. Hard to throw on him. And his defense is 1st in points allowed, only giving up 13 points per game. That's pretty impressive. Causing a lot of turnovers. Right here it says 1st in interceptions. He's got 47 interceptions by his defense. That's crazy. So, Cowboys started the season hot, missed a couple games in between there, and they're looking to make their run and put themselves back at the top right here going to the playoffs. Number 3, we have the Raiders. Chef Waits. Raiders finished 13-3 on a 9-game win streak. They're rolling. They're hot into the playoffs. 3-2 versus the top 12. Latavius Murray, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Amari Cooper, 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns. Khalil Mack led the league in sacks, also broke the NFL record. Khalil Mack, 23.5 sacks this season. He did it in the last game of the year. He had 20 through the first 15 games. That last game of the year, he wrapped up 3.5 sacks to break the NFL record. Sean Smith, 8 interceptions on defense, returned 2 for touchdown. David Amerson also with 8 interceptions. Hard to throw the ball on him. Offense, 3rd in scoring, 27.7 points per game, so putting up numbers. Defense, 3rd against the run. You can't run on him, like we just talked about. He's got the interceptions, so you also can't throw on him. Only giving up 17 points per game. 2nd in the league in sacks with 44 total. 3rd in interceptions with 37. So, top 2 right here. Let's see. Bengals. Number 2, Bengals, led by Tunes, 13-3 on the season, 5-game win streak heading into the playoffs, 3-2 versus the top 12. Andy Dalton had a strong year, 4,000 yards, 39 touchdowns. He had another solid wide receiver duo. Let's see, and A.J. Green, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. Tyler Eifert also added in 11 touchdowns, so he was throwing the ball to both of them a lot. Defensive line had a pretty good year, combined for 28.5 sacks. His offense is ranked second in the league, second in scoring 30 points a game. And like we just talked about, that defense, 44 total sacks on the season, that ranks him second in the league. So obviously, coming in, number one team heading into the playoffs right now, looking to win the Super Bowl, we have the Seahawks. Killer J 2K16 did not lose a game all year, had that early tie, but since then went on a 14-game win streak. He's 15-0-1. We'll see if somebody can beat him. Obviously, undefeated against the top 12, 3-0. Russell Wilson, 27 touchdowns. Thomas Rawls, 9 touchdowns. Doug Baldwin, 9 touchdowns. But it's really been the defense that's been paving the way. Cliff Averill and Michael Bennett combined for 25 sacks this year. His defense is ranked third in the league. It's first against the pass, first in points allowed, 13 points per game, and fourth in interceptions at 35. So that is the number one team heading into the playoffs right now. Obviously, that 14-game win streak has them rolling, and they're looking to lock up a ring this year. So we've got our teams. Let's jump down to the awards this year. MVP of the NFL this year for the WGLTV League is TJ Yeldon with the Baltimore Ravens. Coach of the year goes to Pete Carroll with the Seattle Seahawks. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, TJ Yeldon. Defensive Player of the Year, Khalil Mack. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Braxton Miller. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jeremy Cash, both from the Texans. Best quarterback goes to Blake Bortles of the Jags. Best running back, TJ Yeldon, obviously, with the Ravens. Best wide receiver, Jarvis Landry with the Dolphins. Best offensive lineman, Andrew Whitworth with the Bengals. Best defensive lineman, NFL record breaker right there, Khalil Mack with the Raiders. Best linebacker, Zach Brown with the Bills. Best defensive back, Vontae Davis with the Colts. I believe he had 10 interceptions on the year. And best kicker goes to Adam Vinatieri with the Colts. So jumping to the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year, no question, Alshon Jeffrey with NFL record yards and touchdowns this year with the Bears. Defensive Player of the Year, Bobby Wagner with the Seahawks. I believe he had 7 interceptions and about 4 forced fumbles, so he was making plays. Offensive Rookie of the Year, no question, Ezekiel Elliott with the Cowboys. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Deion Jones with the Falcons. Best quarterback, Kirk Cousins with the Redskins. Best running back, obviously, Ezekiel Elliott with the Cowboys. Best wide receiver, obviously, Alshon Jeffrey with the Bears. Best offensive lineman goes to Tyron Smith with the Cowboys, leading the way for Zeke. Best defensive lineman, Paul Kruger with the Saints. I believe he had 18 sacks on the year. Best linebacker, Sean Lee with the Cowboys. Best defensive back, Clinton Dix. I saw somewhere that he had 4 touchdowns on the season. And best kicker goes to Robert Aguayo with the Buccaneers. So those are our awards and our power rankings going into the playoffs. We'll see what everybody can do. Good luck, guys. Playoffs are starting, I believe, tonight. And make sure you broadcast those games so everybody can see what's going on. And good luck, guys. Let's see who wins the ring. Year 1.